Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Retro and Rare podcast episode for a Whimsical Wednesday. Doyle, are you familiar with the term whimsical?
There's a Pokemon named Winsbur.
Well, I knew you didn't know what whimsical, excuse me, I have to get my own pronunciation right. That would be, let's see, cunning, mischievous humor, something in that range. I got to get my specifics down, but a whimsical sense of humor. Some people say I have a whimsical sense of humor, but we are back. We are back for another episode in the new spot. People seem to enjoy the last one. They got a lot of good feedback from it. Appreciate that. And so we're back. We're back like cooked crack, as I always say. And we'll get right into the trinkets today because Doyle went a little bit crazy. What is today? The 4th, right?
Yeah, it's May the 4th be with you.
So May the 4th be with you. May the Force be with you. It's a play on words for Star Wars nerds. I'm sure there's a few Star Wars nerds out there. We got the Star Wars game of the day over here. What do we got going here? Shadows of the Empire, is that on N64?
Yeah, you rejected my shit.
Yeah, which one did you want?
Empire Strikes Back for Super Nintendo.
Yeah, that's a classic. It's a very hard game, actually. But you know what? Uncle Mikey wanted to pick. I picked it. I think it's good. I think the fans will like it. And you went ham on these trinkets you bought. Do you care to explain what the fuck's going on here? Because I'm not really sure. We'll start here. What's this?
That's General Grievous. He's a Star Wars Disney Store exclusive.
Okay, cool. And then this I'm familiar with. You've had this for a while. That's a Game Boy game. That's OG. That's kind of dope. I respect that.
The Empire Strikes Back.
Right. So you got the Empire Strikes Back. You just didn't get it on the, here. You got it over here. And then what we got here? That's an AT-AT. Am I right? Is that called an AT-AT? And that stands for, it's something all-terrain.
Let's see.
It's AT-AT, right? But it's all-terrain something. Damn it, I wish I would.
All-terrain armored transport.
Well, you shouldn't have to Google that. You're a Star Wars nerd. You're literally wearing a Darth Vader shirt that says the emotions of Darth Vader, and they're all the same picture, but they say a different emotion. Sad, happy, mad, but it's just Darth Vader's face. And you didn't know what AT-AT meant off the dome? They're going to eat you alive in the comments for that, Doyle. You're supposed to be Mr. Star Wars, bro, okay? And then we got, what's this?
Baby Yoda.
Okay, Baby Yoda. It's like a Hot Wheels car or something like that? Matchbox.
They call him the child.
The child? The prodigy?
The golden child?
So anyway, I let you get your Star Wars shit off today. Maybe we'll do a couple of Star Wars trivias or something like that later in the show. The other thing I wanted to address with you is your face is looking better. Now, last week we told the people you were creepy and you went to the beach and you played Pokemon Go and you definitely had a tan of some sort last week. And I complimented you on the tan. I actually said the tan looked good on you. And you showed up to my house the other night just to watch the game, have a couple of drinks, hang out, right? You look like Hannibal Lecter got a hold of you and ate like half of your face. You had actual giant chunks. I'm like, Doyle, what are you doing? You're walking around in public like this? And actually, you told me your job gave you an extra day off this week. Am I right on that?
Yeah, because I look mummified.
Yeah, you look not good. And you told me on the phone, you're like, yo, my skin is peeling. I'm thinking, yeah, whatever. You came over, your entire face was falling off. And luckily, Uncle Mikey had some remedies, some creams and some stuff that I hooked you up on because I'm your friend and I'm not going to let you walk around like that. But you definitely looked a little fucked up. Now, today you look better. You're like 90% back in the game. You got a bad sunburn, bro. I mean, I guess you knew it because you felt your face was on fire all the time, but I haven't got a bad sunburn in a while. I know I told the story last week about when I was on the boat when I was like 19, 20 and I got hammered. I had just shaved my head and I fell asleep and the sun just completely roasted my skull, my brain. But anyway, I made it out of there clean, but I haven't had a sunburn in a while, although I am very close to, if not tomorrow morning, going to be back on the old Lake Eola. So I am going to get some color. Shirt's coming off. I'm doing my laps. The wolf chest, the hair's coming out. People be aware if you see your boy Mikey on Lake Eola, you'll probably see the chest hair before you see me. You just know it's me. You respect it. I definitely look like a 70s porn star, and that's okay. Some chicks dig the chest hair. I was unaware of it. I spent half my life shaving my chest hair, not knowing that it can grow to this level. I'm on maximum level. Like if I was in like GTA, I have like the max chest hair coat on or whatever.
You want me to do the weather for today or tomorrow?
No, so I was going to say we're going to get into the weather. Now, why would you do the weather for tomorrow? When have I ever asked you to do the weather for tomorrow?
Because you're going to go to Lake Eola tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, but I'm going there rain or shine, bro. I don't care. But no, don't give me the weather for tomorrow. What is the weather currently in downtown Orlando?
All right, we got 86, real feel 87.
You know, like I said last time, I'm starting to really feel the summer creeping up.
Very warm and very humid.
Yeah, it is humid outside.
And then Dustin Dander high.
My good old friend Dustin Dander, the porn star. But
And
it doesn't
ragweed.
mean that. What is it?
Ragweed is high.
Yeah, I
Or
don't.
ragweed would get you high.
No, don't smoke ragweed. I think ragweed is an allergen. It just means how much pollen and everything is in the air to cause you get you a little stuffy, a little something. Yeah, don't be smoking ragweed. Don't do that. Appreciate the weather report, Doyle. Thank you very much. We are going to get to topic suggestions. We're back on that. I put out the bat symbol there, the bat sign, and people came through and they were typing them in fast and furious this last week. And we're definitely, that's the whole point of the show. A lot of people that are new to the show don't realize that the show is really based on, like, we put out every week, a calling for topic suggestions. And then through the topic suggestions, we end up going left, right, up, and down into all kind of conversations. And they'll range from retro gaming to just random shit to sports to whatever. So we encourage that. So if you're ever on my Instagram page and you see that little post on my story about wanting some suggestions, go ahead, type them in. We'll get you on the show. Half the fun is watching Doyle read some of your online names, which he always gets wrong, which is great. Even though some it's the same people every week, he still gets it wrong. That's fine. But yeah, anything else, Doyle, you want to add before we actually start the show and get into topics?
Miami's playing tonight.
I was going to say, I know you're excited. The Miami Heat, they're in the playoffs. I've actually been back in the game, been watching the playoff games, and, I'm rooting for the Heat. The Heat are 1-up, right? They're up 1-0 right now, which is good.
The mosaic.
Don't touch it. And last week you called it a mosaic, and I corrected you and said mosaic. And what Doyle means is, now Doyle, we could put people on the game if you want. We could tell them about the TNT Overtime website. That you've been doing that since I known you. That's a hack. You go to TNT Overtime, they have a mosaic, not a mosaic, 4 different cameras, 4 different screens. And they usually focus in on the star players, but it's the entire time the star player or whatever. And it's free, and you don't have to have a subscription. It's a really cool thing. I don't think a lot of people know about TNT Overtime. They should be paying us. TNT should sponsor the show. Get Charles Barkley. Get calls. Hey, kind of. Well, we need some sponsorship dollars here at this
Put it
point.
on the baby screen?
No, I think that is copyright shit. Like I said last week, we may be copyright fucking around with this, but I know if we put like TNT on there, nah. I don't think you can do that. I mean, maybe we're wrong. The people will tell us. I just don't want to get involved. I don't need lawyers. I don't need cease and desist letters. I got enough shit going on.
Yeah, they always say written consent of the NBA.
Yeah. Yeah, that reminds me. Every time I hear that, you know what I hear right away as soon as you said that is the NBA on NBC theme. Remember, it started off with that little laser cutting into the peacock symbol. Bro, I love the NBA on NBC theme. That was and then somebody, I don't remember if it was Joe Budden or somebody in the early 2000s, maybe Just Blaze flipped that beat. I forget who it was, somebody out there will know. Somebody used and sampled the theme of NBA on NBC, which is one of the greatest sports themes ever, and somebody rapped on it. I believe it was Joe Budden. I might be wrong. I don't know for sure. But anyway, I've been enjoying the playoffs, and I think after the Suns play after the Heat, right? Who is it? The Suns and who? Is it Milwaukee? No, it's not Milwaukee.
Oh, who is it? The Suns.
Oh, here Dallas. We go. I was going to say, Doyle, that's your boy too, Luka Doncic. You think he's fucking Michael Jordan like other people do. He doesn't have any rings. He's pretty nice with it, though. I appreciate his energy and, whatever. He's from, where is he from? Is he from, like, Denmark? What is he from? Slovenia. Okay. That's where I'm from. It's vampire shit. All right, so on that note, we're going to get into some topic suggestions. Doyle, the floor is yours. What do we got? While I drink out of my... Look, I'm like a newscaster now. Got the little Polo Bear cup. You don't know what's in the cup, people. You have no idea.
All right, Hennessy. All right, so we got Antonius.
Okay.
This one's a good question here.
Mm-hmm.
A GTA trash question mark, which is high. And then this one, are microtransactions killing the franchise?
Okay, so you skipped over the GTA trash.
No, GTA is good.
Well, microtransactions, which are small purchases you can make within the game to further your character along, buy more cars, money, clothes, whatever you're doing. I don't think they're killing. I mean, I don't know. I like the option of it, but pay for play stuff, meaning like in first person shooter games, it could be a problem. Like if I'm just like, fuck it, I'll spend an extra $100 and get everything leveled up weapon wise, and I put no time in the game and I could just hop online and murder everybody. I also have a problem with somebody who might have 15 hours a day to get really good at a game, and you just want to hop on casual at night and you get murdered from everywhere because you don't have the time to put in to even level up to that. So the online experience sucks. So I don't have a problem with microtransactions within a game if it's just serving you and not hurting anyone else. But if you're just pay for play and most of the time you're winning because you just have better options within weapons or other things in the game, armor and shit, it gets a little sketchy. But I will say it's a hell of a business, specifically GTA. GTA 5 has been out, since 2013, 14, something in that range?
Yeah.
How many billions of dollars has Grand Theft Auto fucking raked in the last 8 years? It's a staggering amount of money, and it's still extremely popular. I do believe they're going to be dropping a GTA 6. Granted, it won't be coming out for X amount of years because it just takes forever, but it's going to be a ginormous fucking game, and I'm excited about it. So,
well, I think you might be also talking about like cosmetics in the game. Like they just dropped the Wu-Tang for Fortnite.
I don't like that. Aggravates me, but that did just remind me. There was a commercial on TNT the other night. Have you noticed? Your boy Martin Scorsese, who bought the Once Upon a Time in Shaolin album, and then the feds got him. There's a documentary. Is that what I saw coming up on Wu-Tang? It's soon, but it's going to be about the whole drama about that. I'm super excited about that. I believe somebody reached out to me and asked me about it, and I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. And then I'm watching the game, and a fucking commercial comes on, and I saw the Wu. I'm like, what? You know, I did reach out to Raekwon at that time, and I legitimately asked him if I could hear that album. And he just was like, bro, what do you want me to do? There's fucking one copy of it. And he's like, you got to go to fucking France and pay $10,000 just to put on headphones to hear it. You don't even get the album. And then, Martin Scorsese, who is the young pharmaceutical salesman / insider trading scumbag sketchy dude, he bought that album, and then he got tough on the internet. Remember, he used to make these videos like he has goons and shit. Like he did all kind of crazy shit. Then he was disrespecting Wu-Tang, or I don't remember. He was like making the album was like a $10 million album or whatever it was, a coaster, and I still can't believe that album somehow, some way has not got out and leaked in full. I think once or twice. I think he was supposed to play clips of it. I don't remember. I think you signed some kind of NDA, which is a non-disclosure agreement when you buy something like that. Like, you're not allowed to put it out there. Yeah, so I don't know for sure. Yeah, so anyway, what's the next topic? That was a decent topic. I fuck with that.
What about microtransactions?
I'm in a meditative state today, Doyle, and I'm not going to allow you to aggravate me, but we just talked about microtransactions at length.
All right, we got Mike's Husen. Do you think people are buying more games but are barely playing them like before?
Well, as games continue to increase in price, I know that people are strictly buying them for investments and then putting them on a shelf. Me and you both have prided ourselves over the years of collecting that actually I play everything. We proved that when the day that when you brought over the fucking sealed Street Fighter on Panasonic 3DO. That would have been an easy one to throw on a shelf. Nope, I tricked you, made you put on the VR to distract you, and then I slid that bitch right open and we played it. I played the shit out of that game. So And of course, you're devaluing it at that point. But when that happened, that was so many years ago that game was like a $40 to $60 game, absolute max. Now it's probably a few hundred at minimal. I don't know. I haven't looked it up in a while, but I do know people that buy things. I guess, depending on why you're into it, right? Because if you're into it strictly to play the games, for the most part, you can get emulators, ROMs and emulators of all of these games. And as time progresses, you're even able to get emulators of harder systems like PS2 and Dreamcast and stuff on a consistent basis. They were always around, but not as consistent as now. But I'll be honest. I thought the price of games kind of were hitting a plateau, a peak, and then evening out. It seems to be they're kind of even climbing more in some regards, some games, some systems. But I do think people do buy them strictly as investments and don't play them. I'm kind of the other mindset. I like when people buy it and play it. That's what it's there for. It's almost like people that are really into the sneaker game. Sometimes they just buy sneakers, they put them on the shelf, they're art, they don't fucking wear them ever. I've been guilty of doing that with a couple of pairs here and there, but for the most part, if I buy it, I use it, no matter what it is. Do you concur, Doyle?
Yeah, you usually want to... I mean, there's people that just collect them, right?
Yeah, gotta collect them all. That's a Pokemon reference, you gotta give me credit.
Whatever. I gotta catch them all.
Oh, damn, it's gotta catch them all. Damn it. Whatever, close enough. All right, what other topic we got going on? And feel free, Doyle, here's where we're going to work this. Throughout the course of the show now, not that the show is new in any regards, but if you'd like to slide one of Doyle's Google article of the day in there, you go ahead and do that. But you got to announce that it's a Google article. But anyway, go ahead.
All right, so we have September 28th.
That's their name?
Yeah.
Huh?
And maybe they were born September 28th. All right, so digital game releases versus physical game releases.
Well, I think, we've talked about this before on the pod, but, there's new listeners, new people, appreciate the topic suggestion. When it comes to the new shit, I'm always about the digital. I don't even care anymore. When you buy something now, like a game, you don't get anything on the physical. You get a fucking box and a disc, if that. There's no more inserts or manuals unless you're purchasing a collector's edition or something of that ilk. Other than that, bro, just get the digital. It downloads directly to your thing. You can play it right away. Day of release, like a midnight, download situation. When it comes to vintage or retro games, obviously having the physical is going to be the better of the two, both for value and nostalgia, right? I don't think that'll ever really change, but people have their preferences. My preferences is just what I said. New shit, I'll take digital. Old shit, give me the physical.
Yeah, but when does new shit become old shit?
Oh, okay, Daniel, son, you trying to get philosophical on me today? The new shit is any current gen. Basically, PS3, Xbox 360 era was the last of decent physical games, and even at that point, they were starting to tail off with what you got in a like, for instance, this Game Boy game you have here comes in a cool box. You open the box, there's a manual, then there's a registration card, then there's an advertisement from something around that time, then there's an advertisement for merch that is Star Wars or whatever. You might get a little trinket or something. Nowadays, you literally get a thin, multi-recycled little plastic case. You open it up, there's nothing in it except a disc. And at this point, obviously, we're moving to an all-digital age where it just doesn't make sense for companies to produce all that when most things are just downloaded. So, but when it comes to old school, like, I'd rather have that than just a file on a computer to play it. That's just my opinion on it,
Yeah, but what about the PS3 games? I mean,
well,
people are looking for like CIB
PS3 is like the last of it. Once you get to PS4 and then PS5 and the new, it's completely gone now. I mean, not completely, but it's 95% just trash as far as what you get when you purchase a physical game.
Yeah, but you sold the Godzilla for a lot.
But that was a PS4 game, and that was a game that wasn't made many copies of in a physical form. I bought it for retail, and I just had it forever, and then the dude offered me, I think I got $160 for that. That was a while ago. That was like 2 years ago.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
What about a digital,
Yeah, I understand that, but I actually bought that just as an accident. Like, I wasn't buying that going, yo, this is rare, and I didn't know. I overheard a conversation of two dudes in GameStop asking about it. I'm like, I live down the block, guys, and I own that game. I promise I have it. If you're telling me you're going to give me $160 for it, I'll go get it right now. And they waited in the parking lot, and sure shit, I got $160. They went home, whatever. Mikey got a fat steak dinner and a bottle of wine that night. But yeah, new shit, digital, old shit, physical. What else you got, Doyle? You're shaking and moving today, bro. Ricky Bobby.
All right, so we got Jet Set Heat.
Okay.
Sketchiest moment you've ever experienced.
Oh, just the sketchiest moment of my life ever? Oh, man. There's been a few really sketchy moments. There's a couple that come to mind when you say that. When I used to go rooting around an old mental institution that was closed down, and we used to go like hunting for ghosts, and it was called Pilgrim State in New York, and I've seen some really odd things I can't explain, and I have a very sketchy feeling. I've also been in situations. I almost drowned once, and that was sketchy. I was on a boogie board, and I was on top of a wave, and I fell off the wave with my boogie board, and my sternum and my chest hit the floor or the sand with the boogie board, but that little nipple, that little nugget in the middle of the boogie board that holds the line on there, drove right into my chest and knocked the wind out of me. So I went as I hit, and all the water just went in and filled my shit up like a fucking bottle. And I blacked out, puked it up instantaneously, like I rolled. I also, by the way, got rolled in the fucking wave. It was a very sketchy moment. I think I might have seen the light. I think I had a near-death experience. I was young. I was like 13.
That happened at the end of Point Break, right?
It wasn't quite that bad. I wasn't Keanu Reeves. I am an FBI agent. I can't remember. Is that from that movie, or is that from Speed when he says that? I know in Speed. Okay, that was Point Break, right? Which I love both movies. I remember in Speed, with your boy on the bus, that he had a guilty conscience, and he thought Keanu was on the bus for him, and he's just like, I'm not here for you, man. I love I was gonna say Johnny Depp. I love Keanu Reeves, bro. Keanu Reeves is the fucking man. So is Johnny Depp. I know he's going through his whole thing or whatever, which is a circus. We don't talk about that, but yeah.
So you weren't Patrick Swayze?
So I went Patrick Swayze. This is a 100-year wave. Yo, you sent me that video of that guy surfing that fucking. What was that about? That was the biggest wave I've ever seen in my life. At first, I'm going, why is Doyle sending me this wave? And then I see this little tiny speck. I'm like, that's a person? That's a person, and this wave is like a fucking 20-story fucking building. Like, dude, if that crashes on you, you just go home. Like, everyone go home. Like, the guy's in pieces. He's fish food. It's over. I fell off like a fucking little 6-foot little wave on a Long Island Sound or some shit in 1996. Like, but I really got fucked up on that. I'm not gonna lie. That was a very sketchy moment in my life, because once I came to the surface, I was so disoriented, and I was coughing up just salt water and just out of breath, and like I didn't know what the fuck was going on, and my boogie board was pulling me around. Yeah, I shortly after that retired from boogie boarding. I spent all my money that summer on that boogie board. It was a Mori. That was a brand that was pretty cool. It had like the glass bottom, so it was like super smooth. I used to wax it to be whatever. It was kind of, I went through a phase. I think my cousin Keith was into boogie boarding as well for a while. He was crazy. My cousin Keith and my cousin Brendan, they used to go out when it was like the hurricanes were coming in. We would go to the Hamptons, and they would go on the beach, and the fucking, all the lifeguards are gone and shit, the fucking water, and they tried going in the water, fucking crazy hurricane shit. I remember that. So Keith, you're a sick fuck. Anyway, so sketchy moments. Like I said, I was going to the Pilgrim State Penitentiary or mental institution, kind of ghost hunting back when I lived in New York, and we definitely saw some weird shit in there. And then the boogie board incident of 1996. I think it was 96. I'm not sure. You had some sketchy moments in life, Doyle?
Well, it wasn't a sketchy moment, but I seen the sketchy building in Brooklyn.
Wait, hold on. First of all, when were you in Brooklyn? Let's talk about that.
It was a school field trip, so we had to go there to study architecture.
Stop right there. Why were you in? Okay, you're from Miami, right?
Yeah.
You went to Brooklyn. When did you go to school in New York?
No, we went for a field trip.
You went to New York City for a field trip?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I never went to Florida for a field trip when I was in New York. We went to like out east and shit. We went to like the fields and Safety Town and I don't remember the salt marsh and shit. We didn't go to the fuck. So you went to what grade was this?
This was like in college.
Oh, okay. Okay, Doyle. You went on a field trip in college?
Yeah.
Okay, so this wasn't like 6th grade with like chaperones and like teachers and parents? This was a college, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, so colleges go on field trips? They call it field trips in college?
I forgot what they call it, but yeah, it was a field trip.
Oh, did you have a permission slip you had to get signed by your mother to let you go or what?
No, we just had to pay for it.
Okay, so you're really throwing me for a loop today. So, okay, so you went on a field trip in college and you went to Brooklyn. Now, I'm going to go ahead and assume this is for architectural purposes.
Yeah.
And then you saw a sketchy building in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it was next to the Barclays Center. And it looked really sketchy, and I guess no one rented it because of that, and it's still there, I think.
So is it like a tenement building? It was just like a sketchy.
It was going to be a Halloween
Is that what Biggie
store.
was talking about? Got your daughter tied up in the Brooklyn basement. That's how it stay filthy.
I mean,
I don't like that song, by the way.
Brooklyn has a lot of history, right?
Yeah, BK, the home of Biggie and Jay. Yeah, there's a lot of history in Brooklyn. There's a lot. I mean, there's a real lot of history in Brooklyn.
Gangs in New York.
Gangs of New York. Yeah, that's like super old, but yes, yeah. Yeah, I mean, all right, man. Like, you threw me for a loop there. I thought you were talking about like a 6th grade field trip, and I asked you for a sketchy moment in your life, and you said you saw a sketchy building in Brooklyn.
And then Machu Picchu's.
I was gonna say the other thing would be the Peruvian shit, because I know they got those little lights in the woods. I know you don't like me to talk about it, but they have those floating orbs, and I know your grandparents and shit, they warn you about that. People go in those woods, they don't come out, bro. There's little, I don't know what they're called, the chupacabras or whatever the fuck's in there. Chupacabras are like a little dog or something, I think. I'm not really 100% sure about that. I don't even know if that's real, but I know that the little orbs are definitely real, though. So I'm not going, I still would love to go to Machu Picchu. I still would love to go to Peru and see the pyramids and shit like that, but I saw a video recently of, I think it was in Peru, I'm not sure. A lady like got possessed by a spirit and walked up all of those stairs, all of those stones. She got to the top of the pyramid, and like everybody was just watching, and she was just climbing up and up. And I'm like, damn, you don't realize you get up that bitch, yo, okay, that's cool. You got to come down too. Yeah, you know, you got to do both. Not my thing. A little bit of too much physical activity for me on that. Anyway.
Did we go?
No, I'm not going. And I'm not. How long is the flight to Peru?
It's 5 hours.
No, it's not that bad. I might be able to do that. I don't know about sitting next to you. I was just looking at what is Fly Emirates, their first class little pods they have. Those things are fucking nice. I can go on we can go wherever you want. You want to go to fucking Slovenia? We'll go there.
Well, the good thing about other countries is like the dollar is like $5 over there, you know?
Well, yeah.
So you could get a whole meal for like 50 cents.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know anything about the foreign exchange or food prices in Peru, but I would be willing to partake in local cuisine. I wouldn't like go there and go to McDonald's, you know?
Yeah, ceviche.
Oh, great seafood ceviche. American Psycho reference. Habelstram, this place is hot. Yo, man, you know what? I'm coming up on that time of year again here where I haven't watched American Psycho in just a long enough amount of time where I could pop it in. I can't wait.
He's got the Rolex, right?
He got this exact Rolex, actually. This exact Rolex. This is the Patrick Bateman 1987 reference number 16233, I believe. It's the two-tone 36 millimeter date just, but here's the kicker. Tapestry dial. That's the key. They don't make the tapestry dial. Now, the fun fact about that was Rolex did not want to be associated with it. In the book, they reference it. In the movie, he says, don't touch the watch. In the book, though, it's the Rolex. Yeah, I like that. I love that fucking movie. I love the scene with the business cards. Let's see Paul Allen's card. And then he sees, he's like, it's got the watermark. And he starts sweating and shit. Me and Patrick Bateman, we kind of vibe because we're kind of psychopaths that have OCD, and we definitely agree on some things, you know.
There's actually surprisingly a lot of memes about him.
Oh yeah, my favorite is when he's with this girl and she's going off and he just lifts his headphones. He's like, I just want to fit in. Bro, I love it, bro. I love it. I'm trying to make reservations at Dorsia. That gets sketchy. You know what I mean? That's like me trying to make reservations at this place over here, Prado. They laugh at me. You call them, I have reservations at 8. They laugh at you. Just like they laughed at Patrick Bateman when he tried to make reservations for that night at Dorsia. He had to lie to the girl about it, and then he came home and tried to kill her and gave her ice cream. Something else I do. I always give women ice cream when they come over, and then I try to kill them. It's kind of my steez. Anyway, get me out of the woods here. I'm confessing to too much. Give me another topic, Doyle, unless you have something else to add.
All right, we got Google articles.
Here we go. Google articles.
There's one of them being the new DeLorean.
I didn't see this, and I'm a car guy. There's a new DeLorean coming out?
DeLorean Evolved.
Oh, Doyle, I commend you today for bringing up a topic that I'm actually interested in, and I can't believe that I haven't heard it. I just watched the John DeLorean documentary on Netflix recently, which was pretty good. I know he was kind of a sketchy dude, did some weird stuff. And there is a DeLorean, which obviously people know is the vehicle from Back to the Future. The thing with the DeLorean, not a great performing car at all as far as the power. It only had about 219 to 240 horsepower, but it was heavy, made out of stainless steel, which if it got marked up or dented, it was rough. And but it had those amazing doors and it looked cool. There's a local one that drives around here all the time right on Orange Avenue.
They are from Back to the Future?
Yes, but it doesn't have the flux capacitor and all that shit and you know all that. But it's a stock DeLorean. The cool thing about DeLorean is they make the parts for that car to this day. I think there's a factory in Texas, if I'm not mistaken, that they make all the parts for. So you can get replacement panels, interior, everything. But what's up with this new one? So they're just like a brand new DeLorean you can buy?
Yeah, it's a new one styled by Ital Design. The Evolved. That's what it's called.
Okay. So does it? I can't really see it. Oh, it looks pretty dope.
You want to pull it up?
Well, that's the thing. It would be nice if we could utilize the screen to pull shit up, which we will get there.
Oh.
We will get there, Doyle. Chill the fuck out. Okay. Right now, you're just. If people would like to look up the DeLorean Evolved, they can just Google it. Now, let me ask you a question. Is it in production already? And is there a price point or?
Nah, it's still in process.
All right. So they got a concept. They're going to, but I mean, is it going to be made by DeLorean? It's called the DeLorean, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I'm down for that. I'm definitely down for that. I've been watching, there's a, you know me with my car review shows and all my shit. You know, Jay Leno's Garage, Doug DeMero, Hoovie's Garage, Vin Wiki. But I've recently got into these two dudes who are very good. I love their sense of humor. They're great together. Throttle House. Check out, if you're into cars on YouTube, if you don't already know. I mean, they have millions of subscribers. I'm not putting you onto a secret. But Throttle House do great reviews, great comparisons, really cool car nerd shit that I love to just lay in bed late at night and fucking, you know, go outside, smoke a bowl, get high as fuck, and watch car shows late at night is my jam. I do like to do that. But yeah, that's cool. I really enjoy that with the DeLorean. I'm gonna look forward to. Maybe I'll get one.
I'll pull up August 18th.
Oh, so it's actually gonna be available soon. Now, do you have to order one or?
Yeah.
I think I still got my Tesla truck on order. I pre-ordered that. When is the Tesla truck supposed to drop? Because that motherfucker, Elon, man, let me talk to Elon real quick. Elon, I need my Tesla truck, man. I did the right thing. I pre-ordered this bitch. How many? 2 years ago now? Come on, I got to get one of the first 100 on the market. It won't happen. They'll just keep delaying it more. I get emails about it all the time. I'm like, all right, whatever. Anyway, what do we got? We got another topic or what?
All right, yeah. So another Google article was your boy Chappelle got almost tackled.
Yo, I saw that this morning. I woke up early. It was like all over my feed. I was like, wait, what the fuck happened? Yo, first of all, a couple things. Number one, just to address the idea of now between Will Smith, between the people think it's okay to walk up on a stage. it's gonna fuck. I can't wait to hear like Rogan's take, a couple other comedians that I know are gonna be like, listen, jokes get offensive, people get offensive. You got to separate it. You cannot walk up on stage and assault somebody. Now that guy, he got fucked up. Did you see him? Bro, there's a picture of him on the stretcher on the ambulance sitting there. His arm is like this, but his hand is facing that way. It's turned around. His eye is completely swollen shut, and he's got bruises and other bumps. So what happened was Chappelle, you saw the grainy kind of video. He gets like half tackled by the guy, and then Chappelle's boys and security just go fucking ham, bro. They're just beating the shit out of this guy. But this guy was armed. This guy had a gun and a knife, bro. And if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, I don't know. I think it had to do with the trans thing. Like Chappelle making jokes and shit about the trans people. And people got up in a stir and whatever. I think it had to do with that. I don't know 100%, but here's the thing, people. Don't run on stage. Don't do that. Don't fucking, it's sketchy. But what was funny was Chris Rock was there, and he grabbed the microphone. He's like, was that Will Smith? That was funny. It was cool. I was, whatever. But overall, man, just crazy times we live in that people think it's appropriate to do that. I mean, that's fucking assault, man. And, the guy got what was coming to him. He got his ass beat, and he's going to be prosecuted for probably, Dave's probably going to throw the book at him and be like, yo, get this motherfucker in jail. Like, he had a gun and a knife. Like, that could have, imagine Dave Chappelle got killed on stage. And, and that's Dave Chappelle. So it makes all the other comedians, Dave Chappelle is the king of comedians right now, basically, right? What is the random dude that's at the Comedy Store doing a fucking open mic night? Like, he don't have any security or protection. Like, a motherfucker could just walk up on stage and do some wild shit. Sketchy. So, but yes, I did see that on my feed this morning. What else we got, Doyle?
All right. So we got Herb Splenda.
Okay.
Chipping in. And we got one game or console you think will start going up in price when people find out more about it.
Well, I've noticed that, it's been happening for a while, but it looks like Dreamcast is in that sweet spot right now where it's in high demand. It's always been an underrated console with good titles, but if you got a horror game or a fighting game on Dreamcast, it's money. And it's been steadily rising for 3 to 5 years now. I think, what happened to me in collecting was I got all of my stuff that I really wanted, and then I started getting into obscure random shit. I don't think that those really obscure systems are ever going to hit the crazy prices because they're such a niche collectible. But I've been saying it for the last 2 or 3 years at minimum, the GameCube, Xbox, PS2 thing, because the era that came out in, those people that are that age, that was their Sega Genesis or that was their Super Nintendo, meaning that's the system they grew up on, like how we grew up on Genesis and that shit. They're now getting to an age where they're getting nostalgic about their first system and they're paying big money for it. So Xbox, GameCube, and I mean original Xbox, and PS2, not that those prices haven't been going up, but I don't think it's going to stop. I don't think there's any kind of random hidden gem system. Sega Saturn is one of them, but it's not really a hidden gem. Many people know about Saturn and the titles that go along with it. So maybe some kind of Japanese import system that might get popular. I started getting to that as I was progressing and collecting. I ran out of the NTSC American shit, and I started getting into all this random Japanese stuff, which is what it is. But maybe the handhelds. You're really into the handheld game. I guess, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, even PSP and PS Vita. And PS Vita only came out in 2013, but the discontinuation of the system production and games for it made all the prices spike on a lot of the titles. So maybe that'll be one of the next to go up. I don't know 100%. This is only speculation. This is speculative. I guess. I don't know. What else we got, Doyle? I'm enjoying my newscaster cup.
All right, so we got Enrique 777.
Okay.
Do you regret selling your high value games from the past? now knowing how much they've spiked? Travis Scott?
I don't know what it was. It just sounds like ignorant trap music. I was just being facetious and bobbing my head like I really enjoyed it. Didn't really enjoy it. I sold some sizable pieces of my collection, some high value stuff, but I gotta be honest. That was a few months back, and I may have lost a couple of bucks here or there. And I'm not disclosing any numbers, but I got a good chunk of money out of my shit, and especially considering what my initial investment was. See, somebody like me, I've been doing this shit for 20 years plus. I got in when people used to throw shit out. I got games for free that were worth multi-hundreds of dollars all these years later. So the return on my investment was just, multiple hundreds percent, 200-300% on most of my stuff that I sold. And really the reason I sold it was, you get to a plateau in collecting, you get to a wall, you get to a top of the mountain where I'm like, I've already done all of this. Like, I don't have anything else that I'm chasing. Towards more the end of it, I was getting into the super obscure stuff, but my collection is based on nostalgia. It's based on my childhood. And especially once I started realizing that I was just going after anything and anything that was retro related because I didn't have it, I started to go, well, now I'm just hoarding shit because there's nothing behind it. So I kept what I kept. I still got stuff, and it is what it is, but I have no regrets on it, and I did very well with it. And hopefully other people can enjoy it. And I do think at some point there's a limit. I mean, how many thousands of dollars can somebody pay? You're really narrowing down the amount of people that are able to pay that much money just for a video game to sit on their shelf so they could take pictures on Instagram. So I don't know where it's going to stop, but it's still pretty nuts.
That's all they do?
Well, it's not all they do, but it is a flex thing. We live in flex culture, and that's what people do. People want to flex. If it's watches, if it's cars, if it's games, if it's vintage clothes or high-end sneakers or whatever. We live in a flex culture, and the internet only exacerbates that and makes it crazier because people want to be seen. And I get it. I'm not saying that I haven't done that or partaked in that in some form or fashion, but yeah, it is what it is.
What if you just love it?
Of course, if you just love it, you could do both too. You could flex something and just love it. It's just that there are people that have come into the culture of collecting that just want it because it's cool to have certain things, not because they necessarily love it. And that's where it gets sketchy. But at the end of the day, do what you want. Who am I?
No, like Panzer Dragoon Saga?
You've been bringing up that game for 20 years, bro. I don't want it. I wanted it when it was $150, and we thought it was crazy. Now I haven't looked in a while. It's probably nearing $1,500, $2,000. I haven't looked in forever, but yeah. Anyway, what do you got? Google article or a suggestion?
All right, we got PVT Tacos. How's Granny T so far? I've heard mixed reviews.
Granny T is great. I've had no issues with Granny T. I've put some hours in. I will say, ever since came to a different spot here, the racing simulator not really where I need it to be. So, well, we got a feedback noise here, Doyle. Do you hear that? What is that? Move your mic. I hear feedback. No, move. I don't know. Maybe over here. I hear feedback. Like twist the. No. I'm not sure what that is. There's a humming noise that I hear. Electric feedback in my headphones. I don't know if it's been there the whole show. Twist my headphone jack. Just twist it a little. Don't take it out. I'm having Doyle. No, headphone on my laptop, Doyle. No? I'm not sure what that is. I hope it's not annoying for the viewers. But it seems to be a little bit of a audio issue there. I don't know if it's my mic or your mic or whatever it is, but
Technicalities?
yeah, unfortunately, we're just going to have to ride with it. This is what we got to freestyle it. It is what it is.
Well, people are bitching in the comments, right?
Yeah, they're going to mention it in the comments. I started hearing it a couple of minutes ago, I think, and then all of a sudden it started to get louder.
It could be the sketchiest moments you ever experienced.
This could be it. Yeah, maybe I'm about to get electrocuted and I just don't know it. So, hey, listen, man, we do the show and we do it in one take. There's no editing in the show here, so we're going to leave it in there. And if it's unbearable, I apologize that roughly the last 15 minutes of the show will be with a humming noise in the background. Maybe it's just my headphones, and my headphones are extra sensitive, so you won't be able to hear it otherwise. I don't know for sure. But anyway, we'll try to get through it. What was the question again? What was the topic? Did you bring something up?
Granny T.
Oh, yeah, Granny T. So I've enjoyed Granny T a lot. I've been playing it a lot. The car selection is great. The customization is great. I don't know. What I was saying before was I haven't dug out my racing simulator since I moved to the new place. So I've been playing it with the controller, not really the same experience or the same effect that I'm going for. So unfortunately, I'll have to change that. But Gran Turismo, I haven't really heard too many bad things about it. I've only heard really good things, which I'm kind of biased because I'm such a fan. I'll play it no matter what. And I've had such a great experience with it. So I look forward to any kind of updates that they have, maybe to get some new cars in there. I kind of have most of the premium cars. But I guess we'll see down the road what happens. I haven't read in the forums like what the new updates are going to bring. To be honest, I haven't nerded out on it like I usually do with Granny T, but it's always a surprise. Anyway, next topic.
All right, so we got a disturbing Google article.
Oh, man, here we go.
Las Vegas police say remains found in barrel at Lake Mead from 70s, early 80s.
So they found
Could be
bones?
casino shit.
Oh, yeah, that's Joe Pesci shit, bro. They took him out in the desert. Yo, you know how many bodies are buried in the fucking, like, randomly in the fucking desert in Las Vegas, bro? I mean, hell, they buried all the fucking E.T. games out there. I don't know if that was Las Vegas, but that was funny. E.T. on Atari, remember they buried it? I don't think it was Vegas. Maybe it was. It was a desert. But that is sketchy, though. I don't know. So it was, but what you're telling me, it was a body from the 70s?
Yeah.
That's weird. I mean, it's very random of you to bring that up, but I understand it's a sketchy Google article. Was it anybody like important, or, I mean, what do you do at that point? I'm assuming if 50 years old, it's just bones and they have to do some kind of DNA. They could still get people on murder from that. You think you got away with that murder from the 70s? Nah, bro. They got you. They get DNA evidence. It'd be hard to find out. And plus, if you murdered someone in the 70s, you got to be old as fuck as it is now. So, I don't know. Anyway, give me another topic. The humming in my headphones is driving me nuts. We might have to cut the show a little bit short this week.
What?
Well, if it's that bad in my headphones, it's got to be unbearable for people with their speakers.
Sounds.
I don't think this is the ambient sound that people would want to hear. We'll have to figure it out for next episode. I'm not really sure. It sucks, but it is what it is. Give me one more topic and we'll have to get out of here. We're almost at like 50 minutes, so it's a decent show. I try to keep it at least an hour, but it sounds pretty sketchy. I don't think we could fix it, bro. I mean, without hitting like not recording, or it's just a technical issue. It is what it is. It happens sometimes. What are you gonna do?
All right, so we got a Invalid and Colombian dude wants a tour of the new crib.
I mean, once I set everything up the way I want to, I got some pictures to do on the wall. We got the what do you call it? It looks pretty dope over here as far as the setup on the TV wall unit. I don't know what to call that. But as time goes on, we might do another, like we did last time with the other place. We might do a little bit of a tour, and it'll be dope. I mean, I'm excited. I just have to, I don't know. Sometimes I get off my game and I don't really set things up the way I want to, but I've slowly been progressing, filling up the shelves, trinkets and whatnot. So it is what it is. All right, I think we're going to get out of here on this, Doyle. We have a technical issue. There's humming in the headphones. I don't know what else to do. It's making me uncomfortable, and I don't want to hit the stop button on there, because if we hit stop, it's going to stop recording the show and then whatever. So next show, maybe we'll sneak in an extra bonus episode this week. We'll do a little bit more content. But unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it at the moment. I don't want to fuck up what we already recorded for the show. So at least we got about 50 minutes in. It's not terrible. It's a 45-minute show. It's not the end of the world. But anyway, we'll be back next week or in a few days with a new episode. We'll fix the audio issue. We try to give you the best content possible. And if I were listening to a show, I would turn it off if it were humming the way it is in my headphones. So
Maybe, but no one listens with headphones.
Well, maybe they don't, but it still could still come through on the speakers. So I'm pretty sure it's loud enough here that you're going to be able to hear it. So I don't know what else to do. It is what it is, and we'll have to fix it. But until next time, peace.